So how come your boy isn't playing in a tournament this week?
I don't know. You would think that a guy that's won this tournament 8 times would kind of be on the sponsors exemption list. Like, you know what, Tiger, just come on back. Especially the way he's been playing. He wouldn't be there much more than a couple of days. But you would think that
No,
they would let him.
it's a no-cut event, man.
Oh, it's a no-cut event?
He could get 4 rounds, and I mean,
He hasn't played
Phil's
4
6
rounds in a
over.
tournament in a long time. Hey, I don't want to talk about Tiger and his inability to make cuts anymore. I want to talk about today's guest. I am freaking pumped because about 5 minutes ago I learned that, well, their headquarters is basically across the street from where I'm sitting right now. But before we get to that, Jason, you joined really early today. You having a slow day at work there?
No, I'm just trying to clear out my afternoon so I can boogie out of here.
Oh, so don't give me a hard time for leaving work early today. Les, where's your lower third? And you've had 20 minutes to prep for this.
I don't have to worry about leaving, man. I'm retired.
I'm talking about your lower third. Where is your lower third? Figure it out. You don't get an introduction now. I am really excited for today's guest because, one, it's a wearable, and you wouldn't know any better. You'd think I have one right now. I don't. But TLink is our guest for today, and we've got Derek Rucki from TLink to come and sit down, answer. We have a ton of questions, and I've got so many questions from greenskeeper.org. I don't even think I get to ask any questions today, so I'm going to be speaking on behalf of greenskeeper.org today. But before we do that, Derek, take a couple of minutes. Tell us who you are. Tell us what TLink is, and in a terrible way of teeing it up, if you could. Welcome to the Friday Foursome.
Right on, yeah. Thanks for having me, guys. It's exciting to be down with you. And yeah, so my name is Derek Rucki. I'm 21 years old. I'm the co-founder and CEO of TLink Golf. And I ended up starting and coming up with this product, starting this company, just as a result of being a pretty highly competitive golfer. I was a top 10 junior in Canada. I went to a university in Texas playing golf there. And I started, just by nature of playing with a lot of amateur golfers, I saw these GPS golf watches becoming just ridiculously popular. And it made sense. The reason why these watches become popular and just wearable tech in general is exploding is the convenience of it. You look at your wrist, you have the information you need, and you're good to go. There's no more guesswork or fiddling around with something that isn't quite as quick and clean. So I tried these GPS watches from like Garmin and Bushnell and SkyCaddy, and the immediate thing that jumped out at me was the overall discomfort of them. They're very big, they're heavy, they're made out of rigid plastic, and it's a big distraction when you're swinging the golf club, especially for someone like me who doesn't like to wear a watch when I play. So the original idea for TLink was to create something that provided that same convenience, but in a much more comfortable way. And so this is TLink here on my wrist. So what it is it's a GPS watch. It's also a belt clip. So a unit pops out of the skin, the wristband skin, fits into either the wristband or into the belt clip that it comes with. You can really display your yardages wherever you want. And we also were able to knock down the price to $99 retail. And the way we're able to do that is this TLink actually runs off of the GPS in your smartphone. So you just tie it into your smartphone, select from over 35,000 courses worldwide. And once you've selected your course, you can put your phone away or send text or emails as usual, and all your yardages will be appearing on the TLink display. So by kind of separating the hardware of the watch from the software and the analytics and kind of the brains of it, we're able to cut down on costs because almost everyone owns a smartphone nowadays. And just to add one more level to our product, the overall trend in fitness towards golf and just kind of people wanting to keep an active lifestyle has been massive. But we also built it to track your steps, your distance walked, and your calories burned throughout the day.
Wait a minute, you said $99? Did you mean to put a 2 in front of that? That is crazy cheap.
Yeah, it's I mean, if we're going to compete with kind of the big guys, we knew from right out of the gate that we had to have something that was in a price category for golf electronics that just wasn't even touched yet. So yeah, $99 it was.
Dude, that is unbelievably cool. I want one right now. I didn't realize they were that affordable. Jason, I'm pretty sure he just answered your first question. So do you still want to lead us off?
Sure, I will still lead you off, but yes, he did answer my first question, which was the steps and the walking distance. So One thing that he brought up in his introduction, though, was talking about the 35,000 golf courses that he had. I was on your site doing my homework for the questions and stuff, and I noticed, like, navigating your site, trying to find a specific course is not the easiest thing to do. Do you guys have any? Do you guys have anything in the works to kind of update, filtering or search by radius, or anything like that on your site to try and find the local course that you're looking for?
Yeah, so we're actually revamping our entire website right now. We're hoping it'll go live in a couple weeks here. However, that experience on the website doesn't carry through to the actual product and the app itself. When you're using the app, all you'll do is hit course by location, and then that'll just automatically pull up whatever course is closest to you.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about doing the search by name or anything like that. It literally takes 3 seconds to find what you're looking for.
Okay, that's interesting. Good to know.
Yeah, that's really cool. So, Les, I know that you don't actually drink good craft beer, but you have a question about beer, which, I mean, that's enough to allow me to let you ask that question. So, go ahead.
Well, I didn't realize that Derek was only 21 when I came
I
up with
didn't
this
either. I was like, I
question,
know he's young, but I'm like, am I older than him? Yeah.
But I remember days in Silicon Valley back in the 70s when a lot of designs were put together on bar napkins. So I was just wondering where you were having beer when you put the design to the bar napkin.
Diet Coke napkin.
Yeah, it's actually hilarious because I still have the original drawing the day I had the idea. I still have that napkin sketch, if you want to call it that. But I was actually, when I left university in Texas and I decided I wasn't going to pursue professional golf anymore, I went to a university here in Calgary, Alberta, and specifically in the Innovation and Entrepreneurship program here. And in the first class in the innovation school, your only thing that you have to do is come up with an idea for something in an area of passion. And so I was sitting in class and was brainstorming with one of my professors and now mentor, and poof, the drawing was made. And
all right.
That is awesome. So,
hey, real quick, did you say University of Texas? Were you down in Austin for a bit?
No, I was just at a D2. It was Texas A&M Commerce. I was in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's actually not far from me. I'm in the Dallas area, so that's about 45 minutes for me.
Nice, right on.
So greenskeeper.org is the sponsor of the Friday Foursome. Les, you got your hat on? Yeah, you got your hat on. There you go. Yeah, you got to get the head bob there. I like that. So, I saw John a couple of weeks ago at #TheOven15, and we talked a lot about the Friday Foursome, and I wish we would have had time to talk more, but I'm excited for today because I don't get the chance to ask any questions, unfortunately, because there are about 46 that came in from greenskeeper.org, and Grantar 2 had 6 of those questions. So I'm going to hopefully be able to get a couple of his answered. Of course, Ringworld had a few questions. So Grantar kicks it off, and he was like, is there going to be a discounted group buy with the greenskeeper.org logo on the product? So that's kind of a two-part question, because I know you have the ability to put custom logos on them, but talk about that process and what that's like for an individual or for a brand to get their logo on the product.
Yeah, so I actually consider that like our bread and butter business, of fully customizing it with whatever colors you want the product to be, and having any logos you want on there, and even the packaging will have a logo. And so the way that customization works is you can't really just do one-offs, because it's obviously it's being made from scratch from our manufacturer. So anytime someone wants, like, we can even put your face on it if you want. All you have to do is order 48 pieces. So that's our minimum. Whatever you want, 48 pieces, we'll give you wholesale pricing, and yeah, any logos, any colors, whatever it is, we'll do it.
If we had, the Friday 48-some, that might be something that'd be worth exploring. But I don't know if I can justify putting Les's face on anything. So
hey.
Grantar then said,
we could get 48 people in the community to commit to buying, and then we could do.
That's a good idea. Why wouldn't I think of that? I immediately think of putting Les's face on something. I don't know. So kind of answered this question already. Does it require a phone app to work? But he follows that up with, is it Windows compatible? So can I use my Windows phone with this?
For all of those 2 people that use Windows, I'm guessing no.
I got one. I got a work phone that's a Windows phone.
Thanks for taking my second question.
All of us. Hey, I'm sorry. Grantar provided 6 less.
Okay.
So As of right now, it's strictly iOS and Android, and it uses, so TLink, we are expanding into BlackBerry and Windows. That's on the roadmap right now for a September-October integration. A couple other things that we're working on before then. And in terms of what phones you can use, for iPhones, it's iPhone 4S and up, just because TLink uses Bluetooth Low Energy, so it can be the most power efficient solution possible. Since it is tying in with your phone, we want to make sure that the battery consumption is really low. And then for any Android users, if you run an Android 4.3 and up, it'll work, which is pretty much every Android phone. And there's actually, like, we ran the numbers the other day, and I think there's 3,000 Android devices that TLink's compatible with, which blew my mind.
So Les, your flip phone won't work.
Oh.
I didn't want to say it. I'm surprised he even has a cell phone, to be honest.
I have an iOS, an iPhone 6, man. What are you talking about? I'm current.
Wow.
Hey, I'm impressed. So I'm gonna jump to Ring World real quick before we go back to Les. And this is a good question, and it might be a little bit of a thinker. But he said, I applaud the fact that you realize that your product may have a short lifespan, which wearables, it's even a conversation if wearables are going to last in a lot of capacity. But not too many folks realize that. Do you have plans for other products? And if so, can you give us a hint on what you might be working on?
Yeah, that's definitely a fundamental part of, I think, who I am and just who we are at the company, is always just being kind of straightforward with what our direction is and understanding if we have to pivot somewhere else or if we have to innovate again or try and find a buyer, whatever it is. And I realized that we probably only have an 18-month window of dominating retail with this product, and then corporate, we probably have a 3-year window where we'll pretty much be able to get a big piece. So we are innovating again. We're actually working on our second product right now. We're actually working on 2 products. So one is basically just going to be kind of an upgraded version of what we currently have. It's just going to allow for more features and still keeping with the core principles of what we've kind of developed the product on, which is keeping that lightweight, slim design and the low cost. And then the second product is in an area that I'm becoming increasingly fascinated in with golf, which is data tracking. So you look at things like Game Golf or Arcos, which track all of your stats for your entire golf game. And we're developing.
We just had somebody on a couple weeks ago that had the stat trackers.
Arcos.
I love that. And so what I'm trying to do with that technology is basically what we did with the TLink, which is find a way to condense it into something much smaller and much more affordable, which is what we're working on right now.
That's really cool. Well, and it's cool that you so early on in the company have realized that, and the ability to say, oh, I'm not going to create this, it's going to last forever, like that you're able to be innovative right out of the gate. So that's really cool. Les, I have a feeling you're going to be getting one of these because you play a lot of golf, and I think that you need to know your yardages. What do you think?
Well, one of the questions I had is how close does my iPhone need to be to the device for it to work? I understand it uses Bluetooth, and there are sometimes limitations on Bluetooth distances.
Yeah, so I mean, we recommend that people keep their phone in their pocket, not just for connectivity, but because it's running off the GPS in your phone. So wherever you leave your phone, that's where you're getting your yardages from. And we've had to be really diligent with educating our consumers or our customers about that, because some people might leave their phone in their cart, walk away, walk forward 50 feet, and then, wonder why their yardages are way off. But if you do kind of keep those things in line, a lot of our users keep their phone, in their bag or in their cart, and you can get up to around 80 feet before it disconnects. And if it does disconnect, once you get right back within range, it'll just automatically reconnect. You don't have to go back in.
Right. Right.
That's cool.
So one of the things that you brought up, you said that you don't like wearing a watch when you play. I like to wear a watch day in and day out, and I'm curious, can you use it for normal everyday use? Like, does it have a watch built into it, or is it just strictly golf yardages?
Yeah, of course. It'll tell you the time when you're not playing golf. ability to use it as a watch.
Okay.
Very cool.
And then also the activity tracker side of it, so you get your steps and your calories burned in your distance walk. So it's got that off-course value.
Oh, no, that's cool. Okay, so everything still works, using it as just a normal everyday, like almost a Fitbit type device.
Yeah, you got it.
So, Grantar, your next question is coming up, but I'm going to get a question in because Jason and I were talking about this. Does the track sleep too, or no?
Not right now. We're looking at it because we have the hardware that's built into it to allow for that. It's really just an accelerometer that we need, and that's what we have. It might be an update later on, and that's kind of the cool thing about the platform of TLink being through your phone is anytime we want to roll out an update to allow you to track your sleep, or one of the big ones we're working on is allowing you to track your score, your fairways hit, your greens in regulation, and your putts. That update is just as simple as hitting one button in your phone, and then it completely updates everything on the TLink watch as if it was brand new. And so you don't have to go through, the hassle of like plugging it into your computer and finding the software and downloading the files. It's all just really easy to kind of change the experience with one button.
That is awesome. I mean, technology is so crazy cool and stuff like that. So this is a good question because I play a lot of courses out here that have a lot of elevation change. And Grantar2 wants to know, does the app account for slope when calculating distance to elevated or lowered greens?
It does not. No.
It does not. Okay.
Straight to the locations.
Back to you, Jason.
Which is good because, like in the junior golf tournament, you can use distance measuring devices, but you can't have anything that measures the slope. So technically, that would still be legal in junior golf tournament.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's even like just USGA in general, or up here, it's you can play in the Canadian Amateur with a rangefinder as long as it doesn't have slope as well. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to steal the next question from you, Les. I don't know if I didn't read your questions, but Ringworld wants to know, what is the battery life of this thing, and do I have to constantly plug it in to recharge? And I feel like I constantly plug the Fitbit in, like almost like every 2 or 3 days to make sure that it stays. But I will say, okay, so make this a two-part question. One, what is the battery life, and does he have to constantly plug it in to keep it recharged? And two, do I get notifications and or emails if and when the battery is going dead? Because Fitbit does that.
Yeah, so from a golfer perspective, which is kind of the stat that I like to use to compare for battery life, is you can get about 5 rounds of golf out of it before you have to charge it, which is comparatively pretty good. It's actually the best, I think, compared to what else is on the market right now.
Can't even get that many holes out of one of those golf boards. So I mean, that right there.
Yeah, I think the ones last like maybe a round and a half. And then when you're just using it in standby, it'll probably be good for just over about a week is what we're finding the average is. And then in terms of, because it's using your phone when you're playing a round of golf, it'll use about 20% of your phone battery throughout a longer 18-hole round.
Very cool. Les, back to you.
Yeah, just curious because I'm not sure I quite understand the activity tracker, which I've never had one, of course. Does it use the app in the iPhone as well?
No, so the way that the activity tracking works for us is all of the data that's needed. So when you first connect with the app, it's going to ask you for, your height, your weight, gender, birthday, and that information is used to help calculate things like your calories burned in the day. And then it's just basically all the information is gathered when you're walking around with TLink with the accelerometer that's in it. And when you connect to your phone and hit the pedometer button on our app, all that information is grabbed from your TLink that you've been wearing and then displayed on the phone. And it's just basically all of the Fitbits and the Nike Fuels and the Vivo Fits, all of those products are using almost the exact same kind of, it's just a mathematical equation to help calculate your steps and your calories and all that based on, exactly the information that's being gathered in the device side.
But that information is not available until you actually dump it into the phone.
For now, yeah. So for now, it's viewable just through the phone. And
okay.
We're thinking about rolling out a paid update where it could be available on the display as well. But that's something that we're focusing a little bit more on for version 2. So
okay,
we're thinking.
Good.
So Ring World brings up an awesome question. I feel like I didn't even need to ask questions. Ring World, if you're watching, make sure you do this every week because this makes my job a lot easier. So he said it appears that the Bluetooth quote-unquote watch is actually an insert, which it is. You showed that. Am I correct in that assumption? Yes, you are. Is there a way that you can buy these a la carte? So you can buy the insert and then buy a custom color or the case in a different color than what it comes with. So with the Fitbit, you can buy just the band. They're expensive, but you can buy just the band without the actual Fitbit. So do you have the ability to buy those a la carte?
Yeah, so the way it's working right now is you can buy either you have to buy the whole package, which is the black or the white standard retail. So that comes with the black wristband, the black belt clip, the unit, everything, and that's $99. And then online we sell the colored accessories separately. So you can buy, right now we have blue, red, and pink that are available, and obviously white if you want, and black if you want to buy those separately for $14.95. You can just buy the wristbands by themselves.
Nice.
And colors.
Is it safe to assume this is all being manufactured in China?
Yes, that is very safe to assume.
Jason, back to you.
So I love wearables. I've got a Fitbit. I've had the Samsung Gear. I'm currently looking in the market for a golf wearable. So what's the difference in your product and all of the other ones that I can get at Golfsmith, PGA, or anything like that?
I would say there's like 3 really key differences that separate us from anything else that's out there. The first one that probably gets most people is just the price. Like you can't really find anything that compares to us for that $9 million level. The second one is just the overall design of it. It's built, if you're used to a Fitbit and you move to like any of the current GPS golf watches that are on the market, it's like moving from having a feather to a brick on your wrist. So we kind of find that happy medium of having a really sleek design that was really made more for golfers than anything else that I see out there right now, because it literally weighs less than half the weight of whatever the nearest competitor does. And then the third one is just the fact that it can be worn in multiple different ways. It can be worn, on your wrist. You can clip it on your belt. My mom clips it on her hat, and my dad actually sometimes clips it on his shirt. So having multiple wearing options, which goes along with being able to choose multiple colors to match what you're wearing for the day, is another thing that kind of separated us.
So I'm obsessed with my Fitbit, and I'm curious. Could I replace the Fitbit with this? Would it be that accurate that I could? I'm nervous to think that, but it sounds like this is pretty much a Fitbit that, oh yeah, by the way, it also gives me distances to the front, middle, and back of the green.
Yeah, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna say the Fitbit's crap. Like they do a really good job at, they've picked a very singular focus, which is key with wearables, and they nailed it. But in all honesty, if you're just looking for those kind of quick glance, stats for your health, like directly comparable, I would say. When we ran our studies and our tests, when we were comparing with fitness trackers, it actually blows my mind how simple that technology is that has created, what is Fitbit, like a $400 million company now?
Yeah.
Like that technology is extremely, extremely simple. And so, yeah, it's pretty much the same for the most part.
Here's what we can do. We can get a TLink on my wrist, and then I will do a 7-day case study where I will track daily the exact steps that I take per device. That way we'll be able to see. I'd be willing to do that research for you. If you've not already done it, heck, you might have already done it from your end.
Yeah, we've had someone call us out on that at the PGA show that was like, I'm not buying until you show me it's the same as my Fitbit. So he took one and walked around the PGA show for 3 days or whatever. But he made his order, so it was.
He made his order. Les, back to you. We're almost out of time. We only got 5 minutes left.
So what decided you, for what reason did you decide not to be a professional golfer?
Good question. Curveball.
Yeah, no, I like to think about that a lot because I probably put my 10,000 hours into my golf game, and so at first when I decided to stop, it was a little bit, I don't know, it felt like a loss, but what I started to recognize when I went to university in Texas was that the skills and the lessons that you learn by nature of becoming a highly competitive golfer are extremely applicable to business and to just kind of, you know, putting yourself ahead of other people in general, you know, whether that's developing a good work ethic, dealing with adversity, setting those goals high and being able to achieve them. I started to notice that I have skills that I developed just by nature of becoming a golfer that I could probably put into something that would, you know, build a much bigger, I don't want to say empire, but kind of just something that, I don't know, could leverage my time a little bit more. And I don't know, being able to kind of involve my passion with golf and business and merge it into one just seemed like a win-win for me.
That's awesome.
Good answer.
Cool story. Jason, back to you. Final question.
So not really a question, but just a statement. I've got to say, coming from an entrepreneurial background and the love of golf, like you've got it going on. Like you've got the true passion for your product. You seem to have a really good business sense. I'm really impressed. I mean, at 21 years old, it's pretty cool. I wish you all the luck, and I think you got a great product. And keep it going, man. Keep us posted on what's going on. It's pretty impressive. Thank
you guys so much. I truly appreciate it.
So I'm not going to let you go yet because we got to do this thing called the back nine. It's just 9 fun random questions, and I got a couple of good ones in there today. So one about beer. Now, Les, when I ask the beer question, just don't pay attention because I also use the word craft in front of it, so you don't know what that is. Blue Moon is not craft beer, but Derek, are you ready for the back nine?
I don't drink Blue Moon either.
All right, you don't. Yeah. All right, here we go. What is your favorite golf course?
Favorite that I've played?
Yes. That's a good question because I don't know if it should be, but yeah, you can't make it your favorite course if you haven't played it.
There's a course up in British Columbia called Grey Wolf that's like on the side of a mountain, and they have some really incredible holes. That's my favorite.
All right, good. What is your favorite TLink color?
I'm a white. I like repping the white.
I was gonna hope you said like some color that was like, you know, for you only because well you kind of built this from the ground up. So
camo one that I'm holding up right now. But I just got this in the mail, so I might just start repping the camo.
Yeah, that's cool. I dig that. What golf ball are you currently playing?
Pro V1X.
What is your favorite PGA Tour major?
Masters.
You kind of have to say that. Isn't that Augusta behind you? I mean, yeah, you kind of have to say, rep the one that's behind you there. So, Les, plug your ears. What is your favorite craft beer? I know that Canada's got a really good craft beer scene going on right now. It's growing like crazy up there. And you come down here a lot, so you might, I mean, it might be a Four Peaks beer as far as I know.
I don't know, man. Honestly, I usually just stick with, like, the Molson Canadian, like...
Now, Les, hang on. He's 21, so he's allowed to say that. You're, like, not 21. You've had a lot of years to be able to get past the low-quality flavored beverages. So, all right, I'll allow that.
Yeah, so I'm not super fine in my beer taste.
So I like to do this, and I know that a lot of my buddies that I play with do. Do you listen to music on the golf course?
Yeah, I do. When I was really intense into golf, trying to get better, I would actually listen to like golf audiobooks or podcasts when I was practicing because I felt like it gave me that like double edge over anyone that was practicing beside me. But now it's moved to music if I do get a chance to play.
Yeah, listen to this. The guy that almost went pro, and then he's turning around. He's like, "Oh, when I get a chance to play." So, who is your favorite LPGA Tour player?
I'm gonna just go with Natalie Golvis.
Well, I will leave the wise.
Good choice. Good choice.
And I know. I need to stop asking. Les, it's not going to happen. But yes or no? Does Tiger break Jack's record? But you don't get out with just an easy yes or no answer. You have to explain your thoughts on why you say what you say. So. Be nice, because Tiger is, I'm his biggest fan.
That's a tough one, man.
Just say no.
I think at this point, I'm probably gonna say no. I don't know. I feel like the amount of competition that is on the rise right now in the PGA Tour is absolutely ridiculous, and guys like Jordan Spieth are going to probably start popping up all over the place over the next 5 years, especially coming out of places like Asia, where beating Jack's record isn't going to become so much of a thing where can Tiger get back to the same level he was on. There's going to be multiple guys that are on the same level as Tiger starting to hit the tour very soon, like Jordan.
Okay, well, it's a good answer. I don't like it, but it's a good answer. So I'll
I think Ricky's
allow.
finally starting to come to terms with all of this.
No,
Yeah,
it is
it's
not.
taken a while.
No, I'm not. And your final question here, Friday Foursome. What's next? What's next for TLink?
What's next? Well, we got those 2 products in development, and we're just growing, man. Like we're getting into. We just got distribution in like Australia and the Middle East, and we're growing fast in Europe. So I'm just kind of excited to steer the ship and keep building the team into something that can create some momentum behind what I think is a pretty cool idea.
That is awesome. Well, hey, thank you so much for joining us today. Jason, I know you're trying to get out of work early. Go.
Yeah, but I have a question for him off air, so.
Oh, well, fine. Then you can ask that off air. I don't know what retired people do in the afternoons, but go do that. And I know for a fact that this tool and this device is going to do exactly what Matt Rust wants you to do, and that's make less bogeys.